Farragut. Yes, continuing towards
Please
Karnes.
take shelter.
Karnes, you need to be shelter in place. I want to welcome our Fox 43 viewers. Again, we continue our long-form severe weather coverage on our partner station, WBIR, and now Fox 43. We are streaming live on WBIR Plus and on WBIR.com, our 10 News app, multiple ways you can get information. But a serious situation that continues to unfold in terms of potential severe weather. We just now have a tornado warning, an upgrade from the earlier severe weather we're looking at, because this circulation continues to tighten up. A tornado is certainly more likely and possible, with damaging winds likely. Whether a tornado is on the ground or not, damaging winds are likely in the Karnes, Hardin Valley area. Come on in, Katie. And that's what we're looking at in Anderson County, coming into portions of Hardin Valley. So this storm is tracking off to the east. If you're watching in Karnes and Powell, and eventually anywhere along Oak Ridge Highway or Clinton Highway, again, coming in near the Anderson-Knox County line, around the Solway Edgemore Road area, Melton Hill, and again, Bull Run Steam Plant, maybe just south of that, a little bit more into Knox County. We're seeing that rotation. National Weather Service in Morristown. This is the National Weather Service in Morristown's radar, looking at velocity and seeing rotation. Winds are going away from the radar here. See the red colors? That's the radar's behind me, okay, behind my back, right there is behind me. So these winds are going away from the radar. Now, these winds are coming toward the radar in the green. So you got that couplet. And the more defined gradient you have with that gate-to-gate shear with this couplet, then you have a tighter circulation, and that's where you can have a tornado. A TVS, a tornado vortex signature, is what can be developing. And so this is one of the more serious things that we look at when we're talking about Doppler radar and technology, when we're detecting winds. Something has to be in the air, like rain, particles, dust, or something to make the storm rotate. And in this case, of course, it's a lot of wind energy wrapping the rain around a vortex, a tornado potentially. So this is what we're looking at. Possible tornado that's just to the southeast of Oak Ridge, north of Farragut, Hardin Valley, making its way toward Karnes. This is Oak Ridge Highway right here. So this is where you have Pellissippi coming into Oak Ridge Highway, okay? So you're crossing over once you go from Oak Ridge toward Karnes, and again, continuing, you're crossing over the river right here. This is right along the Knox-Anderson County line. There's the circulation. It's right along the Anderson-Knox County line, broadly speaking, but again, you have that. It's right over Melton Hill Lake, pretty much right here, Bull Run Steam Plant, and so in the Solway area as well. You're going to have this storm working its way through the Karnes area and continuing up toward Powell. So basically coming across and working its way across Copper Ridge toward Beaver Ridge. You just come out of Anderson County into Knox County. And this is also, you've got a corridor access when storms are coming in from the west-southwest. They're more free to flow parallel between the ridges. Okay, instead of coming perpendicular where they're disrupted, having to go up and over a ridge, if they're going parallel, that wind energy, water is just like air. Water, that air can feed in between the ridges, so it can easily go into the tornado warning till 10:45. Again, this is in place for Anderson and Knox County, and take shelter now in a basement interior room. Your safe place is the lowest floor of a sturdy home or building, okay, away from outer walls and windows, as this potential tornado is going to have a lot of wind energy. Debris will be flying around, so you need to make sure you are sheltered in place and away from outer walls and windows. If you have a basement, that's the best place to go. If you don't, bathroom, hallway, or closet, in a small interior room in the middle part of your house, lowest floor, until these storms go by. And Cassie, you've been pointing this out. We have more severe winds that are making their way up Caryville Mountain.
Yes.
Matter of fact, up Interstate 75 from Pioneer, Elk Valley, working its way up towards Steaking Creek and approaching Jellicoe and Jellicoe Mountain and going up Pine Mountain up into Kentucky. Cass?
Jellicoe Mountain's the one I was looking for earlier.
Yes, we got a lot of mountains.
So this now is a observed severe thunderstorm warning. So we've now had 60-mile-per-hour winds clocked up in that area. So let's see if I can find additional information, unless I'm looking at the wrong storm. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong storm, I guess, coming in here. Oh no, it's coming in from the west. There's more
storms that are that strong though, actually.
There is more coming in here, is what's happening here. We'll get back to that, because this is for Anderson, Campbell, Morgan, and Roane County. So I guess it's for everybody. in that area. Okay, so that's still for the severe thunderstorm warning. Now they've observed 60-mile-per-hour winds with that particular cell.
You're right. No, you're
coming
right.
into that area.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that is the storm. If you're watching right now and want to talk about Loudoun County down into Monroe County, we're seeing these severe storms. Lenore City, Loudoun, and again, severe thunderstorm warnings. This whole line has basically is being warned for. So it can have pockets where you see the lighter shades of blue. We've got 60+ mile-per-hour winds. So that right now, Farragut. Again, Farragut, Concord, you got damaging winds. Again, one of our weather spotters, good friend Alex, reporting the intense lightning and some of those stronger winds. So some potentially 60+ mile-per-hour winds working its way from Farragut, Campbell Station Road, Kingston Pike, and anywhere in the Farragut Concord community into Bluegrass right now. That's working its way. Here's Pellissippi. Okay, so you got Campbell Station Road, Lovell Road, and then you're working away. Here's Pellissippi right here, and continue to track to the east.
That's I-40 in Pellissippi.
That's I-40 in Pellissippi. Look at the camera.
The camera and how slow.
We look at this all the time. Normally, we know it doesn't look at it.
And how slow the westbound traffic is on the other side. This camera is bouncing a lot right now.
Yeah, normally this camera doesn't bounce much. That's the intense. What we're looking at, I mean, Doppler radar showed it again. It's simply looking at the wind energy. Wow. Here's a look at our downtown Knoxville camera. Every time we have lightning, it has to focus because it's focusing on the bright light. So that's what's going on. If you see it go blurry, it'll reset. But there's a look at the intense light. I mean, that's just constant lightning basically flashing in the sky. We're looking off to the west-northwest. This is the storm. I know it's okay, but man, it's almost like, whoa, right? But that's the storm. I know. That's impressive. That's the lightning show. That's the energy in the atmosphere. And again, anytime, obviously, when you have a lot of intense lightning, we've got a lot of vertical motion going on in the atmosphere. It's a strong cold front that's moving in, lifting the air ahead of it. It's warm, moist, and unstable, and that's what we're seeing. I know it goes blurry because there's so much lightning, and it's trying to focus not on the lightning in the sky, but the street lights below. But there you go. That's a look at those severe winds making their way. Again, I mentioned Bluegrass, Turkey Creek. Again, there's Fairways and Greens, the Golf Center, of course. And anyway, as far as a landmark, you've got that right along.
Right near Kingston Pike and Pellissippi.
Pellissippi, exactly.
Yep, that's where
Kingston Pike, Pellissippi. Yep, absolutely. So you got Fox Road. It's going to be impacting you. There's a barbecue restaurant nearby.
And this may be a little bit behind as well. So just know that
our next scan it's probably going to be up in here.
And then here's where the concern.
Right along Kingston Pike, damage and winds possible.
And then this is the concern. Right along Ball Camp Pike right now, you've got a really, really bright area of velocity showing up. This is where we have the potential rotation now. Yeah. It's kind of paralleling Emory Road.
Right, up in here, exactly.
Powell, heads up.
Road. Emory Road, Powell, exactly. And this, as you know, I mean, again, we're talking about it is paralleling Emory Road. And if you look at where the roads are built, they're in between the ridges, right? Well, guess what? That's another clue. That's where the wind blows. Again, air is just like water. It's going to follow the path of least resistance. That wind is going to be following between Copper Ridge, Beaver Ridge, Black Oak Ridge, Sharpsburg, etc. In between and up in Norris Valley, that's another weather zone. So you got these strong, intense winds that are working the way from Anderson County into Knox County. This is the Anderson-Knox County line. And as Cassie said, that's some broader rotation. Ball Camp Pike, Ball Road, Shod Road. Again, looking Amherst Road as well. Looking at these stronger winds that will be working their way into the rest of West Knox County. So from Carnes, Oak Ridge Highway, approaching again from Shod Road, they will connect over to Clinton Highway into the Powell area. As Cassie said, Emory Road. Again, this is Clinton Highway right here. So if you're going, and again, I know there's a mobile home park up here. You need to go to that. I think there's a building at that mobile home park. You need to take shelter right now.
Also,
that's a little bit of a tighter circulation.
Also coming right near Bearden Middle School and near Amherst School.
Yeah.
Both of those locations right now, if you're near that or even a little bit ahead of that, kind of along Ball Camp Pike.
Right.
That's also where we're seeing really bright velocities showing up, so a damaging wind threat.
Right there.
That actually shook the ground, that lightning strike we just took.
That's impressive. Even I heard that. But that's a look at Grace Christian Academy right up here on Oak Ridge Highway. And there's a look at that. We've got
a couple different rotations going on right now.
I know. I was about to say the same thing. This is a couplet that's going on right here. It's broad enough, but the whole point, we're looking at some different parameters, looking for specific things, but the one common denominator damaging winds are likely. Tornado warning, again, just getting updated reminders on my watch, my phone, that's in effect until 10:45.
Well,
so for a little over 30 more minutes, this tornado warning, this is going to be coming into Knoxville. Go ahead, Cass.
Well, I was going to say, we have right now, over, oh my gosh, Todd, that is so many times I've done that tonight.
No, it's okay.
I'll pull you up and kind of in front of it. Okay, so here's what we've got going on. This severe thunderstorm warning also covers the Knoxville area and down into Loudoun and northern Blount County here.
Yeah.
There's a tornado possible on that severe thunderstorm warning as well, because the National Weather Service is basically saying everything could rotate at any moment, and damaging winds are possible, whether they're coming straight at you or they're rotating. Everybody in any of these warnings needs to be taking shelter, and realistically, even if you're not in the warning, these storms can pop up real fast.
Right.
So just take shelter if you are in the path of these storms in basically Blount County.
Right.
You need to be taking shelter. The whole county, all of Knox County needs to be under shelter right now. This is moving through Loudoun and down into Monroe County, and areas north of there heads up in Union County. You've got strong storms coming in your direction as well.
Let's do a quick role play. Folks are watching the stream. Maybe you're watching on your device, maybe your tablet, your smart TV, etc. Maybe you're watching this on Fox 43. We're simulcasting WBIR Channel 10. Let's do that. You're watching on TV. All right, and we just talked about you need to go to your safe place. Well, number one, where is your safe place? It's on the lowest floor of your home. If you have a basement, that's the best place. Take your tablet, take your phone. You can continue to watch the stream. WBIR Plus, our live stream. One of the greatest ways, because you can take it anywhere, you can take our live coverage on TV as well. Go to our app, and again, we're Fox 43 simulcasting WBIR as well, so you can continue to watch our coverage while you go to your safe place. The basement. What if you don't have a basement? Our house doesn't have a basement. We have a dugout little basement. That's another story. But if at lowest floor, a bathroom, hallway, or closet, underneath the stairwell. Sometimes underneath the stairwell, if there's a pantry there, or just underneath there, if a little small interior room, bathroom. The reason bathrooms, we did reports on our news that some homes up in London, Kentucky, that some of the folks that survived the storm and some of the rooms that were left standing was in the bathtub, in the bathroom. Why? The closer the walls are together, they can support more weight.
Yep, and there's
usually in the garage.
And there's usually pipes running through those walls as well that kind of helps to reinforce that too.
That's it. We say get in the bathtub, just don't cut on the water, no bubbles. But you get in the bath, but that's it. The pipes, that's exactly what's going on. It's anchored down beneath in the foundation.
So we want everybody in this entire line and ahead of it to take shelter. Let's walk you through that line from north to south.
Let's go quick, because there's a lot of action moving in, Cass.
Yep, so we've got up in Kentucky, Knox County, Kentucky. This is moving into Bell County. Pineville, Middlesboro, Pruden, take shelter now. You've got a burst of very strong wind heading in your direction right now. 60-mile-per-hour winds, stronger possible. And right along the state line right here, it's now moving east of Habersham. Clearfield, I think that's Fonde?
Yeah,
Fonde?
Let's go with that.
Okay.
That's right.
Clearfield.
There's Fonde Christian School, which
Claiborne
comes out all
County.
the time when it snows.
Claiborne County, take shelter.
Yeah.
Clearfield, Speedwell, Powell Valley, up and down 63 up in here.
Yeah.
You've got to take shelter now. You've got very strong winds that are about to cross out of Campbell County and into Claiborne County.
Come up at the Gap. Cumberland Gap area, take cover.
Yep, coming out of Campbell County into Union County. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this flare up here coming up very soon. And now we're getting down into Knox County now, where we've got
that rotation around Powell.
Broad
Acres, anywhere along Emory Road, Powell area. Again, take cover, damaging winds, get some broad rotation. Thank you, Cass.
Two areas of kind of rotation there. We've got the damaging winds now.
That's what we've been tracking.
That's about to cross over Middlebrook Pike. Nope, not Middlebrook Pike. That is Western.
You know what? I see real quick while you're there and just looking at this different scan, etc. Yeah, that's got 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds potentially up in the Powell area. And so coming up into...
Powell right now?
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got just general broad rotation. Oh my gosh, the Walker Spring. Okay, it was TDOT.
Yeah.
TDOT zoomed the camera into the road, and I thought the camera fell, but it did not. They just did a quick zoom.
Yeah.
We're watching a lot of things. Okay, so continuing down in Knox County, coming into downtown Knoxville very, very soon. We have damaging winds coming into your area, and then going southward down into Blount County. You have the damaging winds and storms about to move in. It's kind of to the Louisville area right now. At this point, that's the leading edge of this. You are not technically under severe thunderstorm warning in Blount County at this point, and you may not be, because these storms may stay slightly below severe limits, but they're going to be impactful, so we don't want you out. And then we also still have the remnants of that supercell that came up the valley near Madisonville. That is going to expire in about 15 minutes, but I'm not really seeing the same velocity. Guys, we got to take this camera.
Yeah, we're watching. Sorry, we're looking at
Walker Springs.
Walker Springs. I mean, that tells the story. It's bouncing around. It's shaking. The wind, the rain, the windswept sideways rain.
Goodness
By the way,
gracious.
Rebecca Sweet just said she's up and she's taking shelter with her family. So our own meteorologist, Rebecca Sweet, is tracking these storms. Yep.
And then we're also watching. There is
couplet in Roane County.
The remnants of a supercell right now moving near 10 Mile and into southern Roane County, and it's going to be getting into southern, or western, I should say, Loudoun County here in just a second. Check that out right there. I'm going to keep, wow, T-Dot. We're going to keep a very close eye on this right here. That is just to the east of 10 Mile in southern Roane County. That's going to continue eastward into the Loudoun County area very shortly here. So heads up in Philadelphia if you're along. Let me get rid of that so we can see what that road is. Oakland Road or Sweetwater Road, just kind of to the near or south of Paint Rock. This is remnants, like I said, of a supercell that's still going. It's still kicking out there, and in fact, it's actually a collision of the the storms out there, and we may not see a warning issued for those, but I'm suspicious of that spot. And then we've got
Madisonville.
So that is still, yep, that's where the warning is.
That's okay.
Let's check the bill.
That was that's some high winds, severe damage winds right there.
Popped. Let's look back here. Okay, so Madisonville.
68. Yep.
Yep, and also broad rotation with that as well. That's going to be on Ballplay Road.
Yep.
Tacony School, Ballplay School, and eventually Highway 360.
Highway 360.
Down in Monroe County. You need to be taking shelter. And hello to Lassie. It's heading your way, folks. Take shelter now.
Yeah, Citico Beach area.
Just south of Honor.
Yep.
Wow, that's a bright. And then another
down along the Dragon, 129. So that's going to be hugging southern Monroe County into southern Blount County. So heads up there if you're watching Tallahassee, Citico.
And back near Riceville, Tellico Plains, you're not in the clear just yet. Even though that main cell is passing to your north, we still have storms from Athens down to the Etowah area, and that's going to get to Tellico Plains eventually as well. So sneaky on the backside. We got to keep an eye on these cells that we've got going on here. Coming
into Knoxville right now. So we're showing you Walker Springs camera. The wind is really whipping around. Very heavy rainfall. Again, these are some of the intense winds. Now that rotation, again, that broad rotation is still working its way up from Powell over toward the Halls Crossroads, right along the Emory Road corridor, and now those very strong thunderstorm winds and very heavy rainfall working its way into the Knoxville area. Again, some intense lightning, and that's what we're continuing to see working its way up into the region. So again, these are the storms that are working its way from Powell to Halls, Interstate 75, Emory Road, and continuing to cross over up into the Halls Crossroads area.
Right over I-75.
Yeah, up Interstate 75, exactly. So from Emory Road area, Callahan Road, maybe Merchant Road, you saw Shenandoah Elementary. So once you get on over into Fountain City, and again, working your way up, again, as you go continuing northward up Tazewell Pike from Fountain City, working your way north, that's what we're going to continue to see. Some of these stronger winds making their way into across Maynardville Highway, Highway 33, and continuing from the Paws to Fountain City up to the Halls Crossroad area. Here's a look. Okay, see, here are the winds. We showed you that cluster. They will go back and forth, if we can, in a minute. Cass, go back and forth from radar to velocity, but this is where we're seeing some of that very heavy rainfall, intense lightning, and underneath that, Kingston Pike, Interstate 40. This is Cedar Bluff, Walker Springs. We were looking at that T-Dot camera just a second ago. This is moving into Paper Mill, Bearden Hills, Sequoia Hills. So heads up, Bearden area, Sequoia Hills area. Again, anywhere along Kingston Pike as you work your way coming in from West Knox County and continuing from around Paper Mill toward and Kingston Pike, Neyland Drive area into downtown Knoxville. Again, that's the intense heavy rain. Here's a live look.
That's a shelf cloud on the top.
Oh yeah, there it is right there. So this is the shelf cloud. There you go. these are little
Careful,
scuds.
Todd. Be careful.
But yeah, it's okay to put your, it's one of those things, right? You kind of jump. I bet you did that at home too. But anyway, here's a look at that shelf cloud. It's coming right. It's going to come right over your head, just like that, as this shelf cloud works its way out toward us. That's the intense rain and the lightning in the background. And there's that wall of lightning. That's the wall of heavy rain. And we've got some 60-mile-per-hour winds back in this area right here. So as we continue, maybe we can watch this. And here's the tower. No, it's okay. Here's the tower. Okay. We're going to watch. Well, look down here at the bottom. You're going to see that fill in. See that you'll lose the trees right here. Not literally.
Not literally.
Sorry, not literally. So let's start over on that. We're can't see the trees anymore because of the heavy rain.
Visibility will go away.
Right there. Thank you, Cass.
You won't be able to see them. Hopefully we don't lose the trees.
Better said. Woo!
That would be a scary thing. We don't want to lose the trees.
You got to love live TV coverage. But that's what we're seeing with those intense lightning. There's a look at the heavy rain. Again, it's coming right toward us, just like that.
Check this out, Todd.
It's going to continue to move your way. Okay, Cass, what you got?
I-40 at Western.
Wow. We got shaky camera again on TDOT. That's impressive. Look at the rain. There's the flashers.
There's the sheets of rain going across right now.
Yeah.
Woo!
40 at Western. I mean, the camera views have really been amazing. We can walk through some of those views if you want, Cass, with the TDOT, with our own cameras. That we're seeing that shield of rain coming in.
Let's do the velocity one more time here first.
Go right ahead.
There's the velocity, and let me loop it for you so you can kind of see it, so you can pick it out.
100%. See, that's a look at some of that rotation right there.
Wow, that was tight back near Solway.
It's tight. And here's the other clue: whether it's a tornado or not, could be. We did have a tornado warning. If there's enough energy in the atmosphere to rotate a severe thunderstorm, there's enough energy to produce damage and winds. So when we see rotation, you're going to get damage and winds, more than likely. So that's a given. May or may not have a tornado actually on the ground, but just from the strength of the cell alone, you're going to get some wind. Okay.
Thought you'd want to see that.
Lose the trees, but we can't see them anymore because that shield of rain. I'm going to step out of the way so we can get the field view of that, because you don't want to see me. You want to see the storms and the impressive energy right there. Look at that wall of heavy rain, at least 50 to 60, maybe 60-mile-per-hour plus damaging winds. This is why we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Is that the rain?
That's the rain, yep.
If I can hear it, you know it's loud.
It's roaring.
It's roaring. That's a look at the heavy rain, the high winds, and I don't think we have too much hail potential out of this particular one. I think it's mainly a high winds and a heavy rainfall.
Yes, and so
with some rotation that's still working its way up into northern part of Roane County.
We also want to,
Knox County.
Want to share down in Monroe County. They're not going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning yet. With this particular that particular cell right there, it's still showing broad signs of rotation, but 55-mile-per-hour winds possible coming into Tallahassee very shortly here. Right now, by the way, Loudoun County is experiencing almost 40% of the county without power.
Wow.
Now that this line just came through there, and I'm sure we're going to see the KUB numbers shoot through the roof now that this line just came in.
Is that LCUB?
I believe so.
For Loudoun County?
Let's check.
We got out of 11,000.
Yeah, it's all LCUB for that one.
LCUB.
And almost 40.
Excuse me, out of 8,000, yeah, half, like Cassie said.
Of LCUB customers specifically.
Wow. Okay, Loudoun County. Almost. These are going to continue to come in. Man, there's the rain again. Strong to severe storms working their way into Knoxville.
This is what I was trying to show you guys. Sorry, I was on the wrong thing.
Go ahead, Cass. I'll let you finish talking about that storm.
So there you can see coming right now down over Highway 360 here. This is south of east of Niles Ferry Road, excuse me, north of Ballplay Road, east of Madisonville. That's going to be coming into Tallahassee. Right now, technically, there's not a warning on this particular cell. It's moving out of its warning because that's about to expire here. The National Weather Service has decided to go ahead and issue a special weather statement for up to 55-mile-per-hour winds, but this right here needs to be monitored if you're down in this county. And like I said, it's going to be coming into the Tallahassee area along the tail of the Dragon, the Foothills Parkway here, coming up very shortly. So that is going to be something we definitely need to watch right there. So pointing at that near Tacony School, coming into Tallahassee, that's an area to watch. And we'll go a little bit further back to the north here into Knoxville. I'm not seeing, well, I can see the leading edge. I was going to say I'm not seeing. I can see the leading edge of the wind.
Right there.
It's bowing out. I don't know if you can see it as well on this monitor.
Sorry, I'm standing in front of the monitor.
It's right here. That's where it's bowing out right now.
Look that just a little bit, Cass, right there.
Yeah, you can see it come blasting through right now.
Yeah,
you can really see
that.
it.
Look at that. You're right. Look
right
that loop right there. It is bowing out. You're exactly right. You know what? Air's like water. It's like you're pouring water out, and it's just rushing out, and it's fanning out like that. It's fanning out as it's bowing out. Sorry, Monder. It's bowing out and coming into the Knoxville area, and the storm is here in Knoxville. Got very heavy rainfall. These strong wind gusts, this outflow, as Cassie just very wisely pointed out there, with that fanning out through Knox County and still hanging on.
I was going to say the same thing. The exact way you just emphasized that, still hanging on to some broad rotation as it's moving right now over 441 right there, and it's now kind of just along and north of the 640 loop. It's going to be at 11W here soon. Yeah, 11W. North Freeway, Maynardville Highway, there's 11W, 11E. Exactly, Cass. That's tracking over Fountain City. So again, working its way along Tazewell Pike, working up toward the Gibbs area, and eventually toward Corrington. Again, Shannondale Road area. So if you're in Fountain City, you got some rotation above that just got some swirling winds going on, and some pretty impressive outflow boundaries that are being produced by this severe storm. Again, some very strong winds, some intense lightning, and some heavy rainfall that's continued to now work its way into the Knoxville area. If you're watching downstream, like you're in the Morristown area, Dantridge, Sevierville, Gatlinburg, and you've been watching us talk about these storms all day long, and you look outside and you're partly cloudy. I know it's taken a while for these storms to work their way eastward, but this is the other reason we're bringing long-form coverage. It's going to impact just about all of our viewing area, so you'll be impacted. Look at that defined line. There's the northern, on the northern side of it, I should say. The line has now made its way into Claiborne County. It's moving across Claiborne County now. Speedwell, it's about to move into your area with some brightness showing up right there. It's about to come into the Gap. Yep, Cumberland Gap, Harrogate, heads up in Tazewell, Middlesboro, it's about to be in your area. It's moving across Union County right now, probably below severe limits in that area, but it's just going to be getting closer to the radar, and we're going to get a better read on these wind speeds as it gets closer. It does, as Todd was saying, look like it's kind of fanning out. It's losing a little bit of its umph as it's moving to the east. Right. But again, even below severe limit wind can knock down trees in this part of the country. They can, when the ground gets a little bit more saturated and those root systems. Oh, never mind. They did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for that whole area. Oh, okay. So never mind. Yeah. Everybody up there is in that severe thunderstorm warning that I was just talking about. Anybody else? That's an interesting signature. I know, it's weird, right? Interesting. Hey, but just a quick side note, if you're ever watching us and you're in a campground and you're in a camper, we talk about this with mobile homes, not the safest place to be. We want you to be in a more sturdy home or shelter or building, if you can, a trusted friend or neighbor. If you're at a campground, one of the best things to do, especially we're talking about some pretty high winds, etc., it's recommended, get out of your camper and basically go into the bathroom facility. At all campgrounds, there's multiple, bathroom facilities. A cement block, and concrete type building, secure building, even if it's like a restroom or bathroom facility. That's a better place to be, and you'll likely make some new neighbors and friends when you all get crowded in there. But that's one of the best places to be to take cover if you're at a campground in a camper. And I want to show you this too. Farragut, Lenoir City, you've got another storm coming in from the west. It is not warned right now, but it's got some decent VIL showing up with it, so it's not done just yet. The velocities aren't particularly scary, but just a heads up. Don't go outside and look at whatever just happened, because you've got another cell coming in on the backside of it. It's the remnant of that supercell that was following the first one. It's the first one, and it's training. So remember, back on the plateau, flooding. We were getting the 2-for-1, the severe winds on the front edge, and then during and after the flooding on the back end. That's exactly, see that flash flood warning in Crossville. So that's what's been going on with this training of cells working their way from west-east, Cass. And the National Weather Service has now just extended the severe thunderstorm warning. So they're not going to continue the tornado warning for that cell that is moving through Knox County right now. What they've done instead is issued a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible here that does include northern portions of Blount County, Sevier County, into Cocke County near the Newport area, even as far east as Morristown, so all of Jefferson County and parts of Hamblin County here. So basically they're warning the whole line right at this point, and they've got the possible because we still have that broad rotation showing up, wind damage. But this cell
Right.
Coming into the split right now.
Back toward Lenore City and up toward Dixie Lee Junction, Watt Road.
Yeah, I don't want folks out there to go out and look around in case
Let's look at velocity on that. Absolutely.
It's not showing particularly impressive,
too much right
but
now.
I also think the radar is contaminated with everything that's in between there.
Exactly. You
can't see it.
Here's the radar in Alpha. We're shooting through several waves of heavy rain. Matter of fact, we're shooting right through this outflow boundary, so it could be getting attenuated a little bit. You know what? You're right.
But I got
west of Lenore City. Right there. Just a little bit of a weakness.
It's bothering me. It's bothering me. The cell is irking me because there it goes. The veil came down just a little bit on that last scan. So heads up at the split of I-40 and I-75 right here. This is where in Loudoun County we have another cell coming in right now, and it's suspicious. That's all I'm going to say. It's just suspicious. So in West Knox County, the first severe thunderstorm just expired. That's what I was about to say. Okay. The first severe thunderstorm warning was about to expire. The tornado warning is going to expire in 15 minutes, but the cell's actually kind of almost out of its warned area at this point. There's one more area of trouble coming in right now from the west, so don't go outside and look around. If you heard a tree fall when the first line came through, don't go investigate right now because you've got another line that's going to be coming in on the backside of the first one here. And then, of course, Todd was mentioning the flooding issue. Please don't go out on the roads either. Not only could there be debris from the wind coming through and knocking down trees and branches and things, power lines could be down.
Right.
And there could be floodwaters, which are really hard to see at night. So just don't do that.
Yeah, it's not a good time to be out. I mean, it's storming, right? You want to wait till storms move by and certainly wait till that threat has passed by. But if the power is out, you got to be very careful going outbound when there's down lines. They could still be hot, and you don't want to get near those, and be safe, certainly. And, by the way, hopefully your power is still on, Loudoun County, we have
about 40% of the county.
40% of the county, right. About
40% of the county is without power right now down in Loudoun County, and here comes round 2 through right now. So crews are not going to be able to get out and get that fixed right now, but they are going to go out there when it's safe for them to do so and get that worked out. McMinn County is also experiencing some outages. Also up in Cumberland County and up in Fentress County, we're seeing quite a few power outages at this time as well.
Over 2,500 in Cumberland County. A good idea to have batteries with your flashlights in case the power goes out, and to have your devices charged up, etc., in case we do have power outages. So that way, battery-operated flashlights are much better than lighting candles. It's just a safer option, rather than an open flame. There's a look at that. As Cassie was talking about, this storm in Monroe County was still that pocket of some potentially damaging winds that will continue to work its way, basically kind of going to be working its way out of Monroe County and Blount County. Okay.
We'll check that in a second.
Okay, yeah, we'll check the TDOT cameras, getting information on here that there's a crash on TDOT. Where was that, did they say?
We've got a couple different incidents, actually.
Different instances. Weisgarber?
Okay, so it's going to be this one right here. So we got that multi.
Cassie's a pro at these TDOT cameras.
Okay, so let me think about the best way to do this. Oh, our computer decided to get stuck.
You got it, Cass. I just bragged on you. You're going to pull it off.
And I was like, no, I got it messed up.
No, it's the
there
camera.
It is.
There you
it's
go.
that one. Here we go.
Oh, hey.
Not good.
Okay, we'll put this up behind us.
We're full.
Okay,
so this is I-40 at Weisgarber. I did not... Actually, this looks like the road's shut down right now at this point. Lexi, do we know which side this was on? This is eastbound I-40 at Weisgarber. It looks like a multi-vehicle accident at this point. The road is closed at this moment. They're not letting any vehicles by. I think they're trying to make room for more emergency vehicles to arrive. It's hard to tell with the situation with it being dark outside at this point and the flashing lights. But again, a multi-vehicle accident. I-40 eastbound at Weisgarber currently closed at this time. I'm not seeing any vehicles going by, so we're going to say it's closed right at this moment.
Left lane or left 2 lanes. You know, one thing's too, when you get up against the barricade, it looks like you got the pavement going down like this. A lot of times, and sometimes it's in the fast lane, and when it's sloping down, you got to watch out. That's where the water collects. So it could have had a hydroplaning situation. And so you just simply, when it's heavy rain, you certainly have to slow down and be careful as you're continuing if you're out about on the roadways. You got to watch out for hydroplane. You can see some of the traffic being going around right here. But as Cassie said, that's a multi-vehicle crash again. And the other thing I would highly recommend, and I remind myself, my boys out driving, when it's raining hard, that's not the time to catch up on time. It's make good time. That's the time to slow down. And we all have to be reminded, right? But it's just a lot when there's a lot of water on the roadways. Just take your time. Don't be in a hurry. And so hopefully everything's okay here. But they do have at least two. I don't know how many.
They're letting the two right lanes by right now, but
yeah.
I think I see. Yeah, I was going to say 3 left lanes are currently closed.
Well, I was going to say it looked like at least 2. But so we got 3 left lanes closed.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's the backup that comes from that. That's from the other side.
Wow.
Looking back at everything, it's basically a parking lot at this point.
Knoxville's version of Atlanta. I mean, there you go. That says either 2 or 3. I guess 3 left lanes closed ahead.
And the unfortunate part of here is that second cell that I was talking about is going to be coming into this area soon. So, you know, it's not great that folks are stuck on the road during that, but mostly the first responders that are having to get out of their vehicles and respond to this accident. We got more lightning and more very heavy rain and strong gusty winds coming into this area here. So that's one incident, but there's more.
I said closed and it said blocked. 3 left lanes blocked.
Yes. And then we also have a multi-vehicle crash. This is on I-40 eastbound. This is going to be closer to Cedar Bluff. This is the I-40 incident at Bridgewater.
Okay.
Also eastbound. It looks like the right lane.
That's on the right-hand
might
lane.
be blocked, and the right shoulder. Let's see from the other side. This one doesn't look to be holding up traffic too much. Yeah, it's probably the right lane and the right shoulder right there. So again, that's at I-40 and Bridgewater. You can see the camera's still bouncing around a lot because of the wind from that second cell coming in. And then we'll go out even further because I think I saw another one, over in out here to the west. This is near...
I told you she was a pro, folks.
I-40 and this is in Roane County.
Yeah.
Debris on the road right now. The eastbound lane, the right lane of the eastbound traffic.
It's tough. It's worded tough. Yeah.
Yeah, is blocked right now due to debris in the road. So that could be some tree issue out in that area. I don't have a camera to show you that one right now. But again, back to what we were just made aware of right now, we do have that incident at I-40 eastbound in Weisgarber. The 3 left lanes are closed, or blocked, I should say, at this time. The 2 right lanes are able to get by, but there is a significant backup building right now on I-40 eastbound out at Weisgarber, and this is West Hills, kind of giving you an idea of the area that we're talking about here in Knox County from the storms that we've had come on through.
So a lot of times when we kind of check out radar again, but a lot of times when we're talking about storms and making their way through, it's the damage that results out of those storms. A lot of times it's the impact on the roads as well, in addition to damage, in addition to power outages. Thunderstorm warning.
Let's turn the damage camera west. Oopsies, where to go?
Okay. Douglas Lake?
Yeah, the Douglas Lake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's turn it west because I think we're going to see it coming in. Or just go to the dock maybe because it'll be easier to see.
100%. Oh, God, you see that lightning right when I was right when I was turning. Did y'all see that, folks?
I'll look, no, because I didn't have it pulled up.
I bet they did. Well, here, let me go back and catch that lightning.
Oh, no.
No, it's okay. There it is.
Okay.
There's.
Okay, so we will take our...
I'm going to show you both. We got the... Are we seeing the...
Not yet. Here.
Okay.
There we go. Now we are.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to give anyone whiplash.
Okay, there's our lightning. Yeah, sorry. Let me make sure I'm widening.
Okay, so that's looking west, where the storms are going to be coming in from here very soon. So that's kind of the view I was hoping for here. Is that zoomed all the way out?
It is. There's your...
Okay.
Oh, that's what you did want. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and I'm panning over just a little bit. You can see the rain in the foreground. This is from the Dandridge dock, and there it is, looking west. Every time it lightnings, we have lightning, I can, there we go, I can adjust. How about we go up one more? And maybe 2 more. Let's do that. You can see that, maybe down one. You can see the rain in the foreground and the lightning coming in from those storms into the Dandridge area, the Lakeway area from Douglas Lake, feeding up northward toward Cherokee Lake and nearby Douglas Dam. But that's the lightning. That's the storms that we've seen making their way due east with these strong outflow winds, some damaging severe winds blowing through and creating a lot of water and on the roadways as well. A lot of heavy rainfall. So flooding is going to be an ongoing issue. By the way, way, we are continuing to check the box on rainfall for the month of May.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I know, so that's the side note. But here's the story. But that's a look at the camera view from, I'll pan on over to the, oh, wow, there's some lightning. So this is kind of another example that the cameras have really told the story in terms of the storms coming into our region. And we're back to the velocity and some of the pockets of wind, including near and just south of Tellico Plains.
Let's do that one first.
Okay, yes, thank you, Cass. From Etowah in McMinn County and coming along Highway 310 into Tellico Plains, just south of there. But that's a pocket of maybe some severe winds that's coming into Tellico Plains. So be prepared to, take cover and shelter in place in Tellico Plains. South of Tallahassee, these were some strong winds. Looks like the overall
intensity.
Intensity, exactly. And as I say, the breadth of the winds, if you will, the width is shrunk a little bit, not quite as wide reaching compared to earlier, right? Looks like it's shrinking and lessening in intensity as we're seeing that just south of Tallahassee. Yes, started bigger and kind of shrinking a little bit, and now that's continuing to feed in towards Cityco Beach, and we'll be tracking across southern Blount County into the Smoky Mountains. So as far as the velocity and the wind energy, we're still seeing some of these pockets of severe winds, and we do have a tornado watch. It's in place, by the way, till 2 a.m. Hopefully, a lot of times it's issued even longer than sometimes is needed because a lot of times it could be further downstream. So hopefully that will be expiring beforehand. But yeah, that's that. Well, you want to loop that? There it is right there, isn't it? Oh, wow, look at that.
That's the leading edge coming into exit 407, about to be up and down Dolly Parton Parkway, and eventually to our Douglas Lake camera in Dandridge.
That's, I mean, it's just like...
Ooh, still some broad rotation there.
Yeah, let me see if I can kind of demonstrate this.
Sorry, I got distracted with it.
You're just pushing.
Right there.
It's like you're just taking a plow and pushing those winds just like that.
Look at that coming into Kodak. Yeah. It's right along I-40.
Can't do it fast enough because it's faster now. But
Sorry,
it's just like
let me stop it.
It's like you're pushing the wind, like water just being pushed out, but those winds just being fanned out and pushed out. So there it is, Cass, as far as Johnson, which is Johnson University. Our database, it's just a quick story. Our database, it includes both new schools and old schools. It includes just about everything. So you may see schools on here that are no longer in existence and haven't been updated. That's Johnson University. Teach a meteorology class there. So anyway, side note. All right. So
right there, though, we're seeing
Carter High School in East Knox County.
Kind of some broad rotation.
Yeah.
Right along the edge of that line. Right there, kind of paralleling I-40, about to move.
Oh, right here.
Just general.
I was looking at another little weak one right there. But, yep, up near Carter School.
Oh, yeah, and also that's now popping up. That's about to come to exit 407.
Yep.
Yep, right on. So
toward Kodak, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to not put Todd up in front of me here.
Okay.
But I also just made Todd disappear. Actually, guys, one day I'll get this right. I wanted to say that what you're seeing...
That's the way they do special effects in movies, by the way, the green screen.
The green screen, that's right. I just got to learn to push the buttons in the right order, so that'll help us here. Yeah. What you're seeing right here is kind of the equivalent of if you have ever pushed your water or pushed your hand through water, like in a pool or in a bathtub.
That's what I was trying to demonstrate there, but I wasn't doing a good job.
And if you run your hand through,
right,
and you create that resistance on the edge, you get those little eddies, those little swirls.
Exactly.
That's what's happening right here near Strawberry Plains Pike and I-40.
Very good point.
That's moving eastward toward exit 407, and you can get quick spin-ups or extra oomph from the wind right in that area.
On either end of the wave,
so to speak. Yeah, you get the little eddies, the little swirls going on. So that's what caught my eye right in that area.
The top end's counterclockwise and the bottom can be clockwise.
Exactly. So this is counterclockwise. It's coming in here. Let me check the VIL. Not really seeing anything too impressive here, but that's the leading edge that's about to come into Kodak. One of the best things I just noticed about this is that the lightning is still intense,
right?
But it's not nearly as concentrated and as frequent as it was earlier. It's more just spread out.
It's more spread out. It's true.
Still dangerous, but it's just telling us that the storms aren't quite as organized, which is, kudos to the SPC for this one.
Yeah.
That level 3 and that level 2 risk is right about here.
Kind of the dividing line right there, isn't it?
Yeah, they did a great job of defining where that was.
And the timing, absolutely.
Yeah, so then further to the north, we're still watching.
We're up on 1043 right now. Katie Inman has been standing by all evening long, anchoring Fox 43, of course, and
being prepared to do it.
Being prepared, yeah. But just storms continuing to fire, and we still have severe weather threatening.
So we're here.
We've been in that mode right now. Yeah.
So we're still seeing those little eddies, those little swirls, kind of generally along this line. But in general, the overall strength of them appears to be
something down there in Maryville
coming down just a little bit compared to what it was a little bit earlier. Again, we're always analyzing as we're doing it. Flooding is a concern now on the backside of things, and of course we've got debris down across the area from multiple reports of downed trees. So again, if you don't have to be outside, please don't be. And we may not see the rain come to an end for a little while longer. Right. On the backside of these systems, we have what is called stratiform happen, so the atmosphere kind of stabilizes, and then you just get this like the gentle, good sleeping rain. But it lasts for a little while.
Best thing is storms are past, and now it just rains a little bit. That's a good sleeping weather.
So let me show you an update because we just haven't looked at this lately. The tornado watch has been trimmed. Yep, for Cumberland, Fentress County, Scott and Morgan counties here. Wayne and Pulaski counties have been removed as well. McCreary will probably be removed soon. And that main line continuing eastward, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Roane and Ray and Meigs are removed here.
Right.
The National Weather Service will continue to trim away at the tornado watch, and eventually this will all go away, probably before 2 a.m., honestly. Because these storms are moving through at a pretty good pace.
We always pull for it to expire early.
We do.
I know you do too.
And
Look at that.
I know. What? Good job, SPC.
They're focusing in on the line.
On right where the line was.
They're trimming it back.
But the line is coming down in intensity right where they expected it. So. Kudos to SPC tonight.
That's pretty good. Hey, do want to mention we've got several trees down in Kodak, 3 miles to the northwest of Kodak.
It's not even there yet.
That's that. Well, that's that outflow.
That outflow is just getting there. I'm impressed.
Just getting there.
That warning, that tornado warning, by the way, is about to expire here.
That was 3 minutes ago for Kodak.
Wow, Kodak, you were on top of the reports. That's that little eddy that I was talking about that's moving right into your area right now. That's just general broad rotation. We got to keep an eye on what happened.
Trees down county-wide in Knoxville. Now that doesn't
mean that every tree in the county is down.
Right.
It's just that sounds very, very scary, but it's not.
That's about like when Todd said the trees were.
You said they were going to disappear.
Disappear or be removed.
Countywide.
Yeah, there's just teasing.
We're fine.
2 miles west of Knoxville, so that's in the kind of the Bearden, Sequoia Hills area in general, roughly. Kingston Pike area, we were talking about at that time, Paper Mill, Bearden Hill area coming in for there. So that may be approximately that area.
Yeah, not a lot of power outages being reported at this point. So that's good news there. Right,
100%. We've talked about sometimes the damage reports, they lag because a lot of times once the storms move through, then there's the assessment going on. And the power outages are also one of those things that tend to lag the post-storm movement. So once the storms have moved on through, then we start seeing the damage reports come in, obviously more. And you hope you don't see as many come in. Sometimes you hear about it quickly, sometimes it takes a while, but then the power outages. So we had some pretty good winds coming through, so we'll have to assess the power outages for Knox County. We know Loudoun County, out of 11,000 something customers, there was about 4,300, almost 4,400 customers. I think Cassie said 40% of the customers
in Loudoun
County with LCUB.
LCUB, yes.
With LCUB specifically, without power. So
now we have two.
Notable.
Excuse me, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect. They're large. They include from Bell County in Kentucky down through Claiborne County into that's not Harlan County.
It's okay.
That's called Granger County.
Yeah, you're good.
Granger. They're kind of shaped the same. Anyway, into Granger County, different states, but that's fine.
There's a lot of yellow up here too.
There's a lot. It's kind of hard to see the boxes, but then we also have this broad severe thunderstorm warning that extends over to Morristown, Newport, and areas back to the west with the leading edge of that wind now from Kodak into the Dandridge area. You okay?
No, I'm good. Okay. I'll get this report after you. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Multitasking. Annie, our assistant news director here at Channel 10, said from Oak Ridge, manhole covers, this is why I did this for Mark, manhole covers.
I just had the same face.
Blown off. From localized flooding. That's where the manhole cover, the flooding's coming through so much in the storm drains.
Oh, because the roads
they blew the flooding.
And the roads are impassable.
The roads are impassable. Some roads are impassable in Oak Ridge. Minimal power outages and damage. So once again, like early in Oak Ridge, thankfully didn't have as much. But some roads are impassable from the spokesperson in Oak Ridge. So you had so much flooding, and John Becker.
Just water coming through here.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, no.
John says no. He wasn't ready.
No, you're all good.
I got no bike.
No.
I just need one of you.
Oh, one? Okay. So,
do you want to?
Sure.
Go.
You want some pizza, John?
Do you mind turning off your mic?
Sure.
And actually, let me check. I'm going to take this full for 1 second. Let me check your mic here for your your battery. Darn. Let me just switch your battery real quick. excuse me. We're going to switch Todd's battery here. 1 second, folks. While we're live. Y'all don't need to see what's happening right now. Come on.
It's on my belt.
I'm getting it. It's on his belt. Hold on 1 second, everyone. We're getting this snapped in. I can't get that snapped in. John. Put that in Todd's microphone.
Classic, Cassie.
He's eating pizza and getting his battery changed. I got you covered here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Take Doppler quick.
We got it. Okay, so here's a look at the latest velocity scans for what we've got going on right now. Coming in actually right into the Kodak area right at the moment. We have that potential velocity showing that swirl that we were talking about, that little eddy where we've already had some wind damage actually reported, and this is just north of the Winfield Dunn Parkway out at the old Smoky Stadium. That's right where that little, we'll call it broad rotation, weak rotation is. This is just north of Dumplin Valley Road, and that's going to be over Dumplin Loop Road. It's along Snyder Road at this point, kind of paralleling 25W and I-40. It's kind of right in between there. So we're going to watch that because we've already had several trees reported down in that particular area, and that's my next little spot of concern near Underwood School at this moment. That is where we are seeing just like that broad, weak rotation showing up kind of at the leading edge of that line. Also seeing one little spot along the parkway. This is going to be near Douglas Dam Road. Along the parkway. Again, one of those little eddies, one of those quick little swirls, and that's something we've got to watch moving forward, moving near the Alder Branch area coming up here. So kind of along the leading edge of this, we've got the little scalloping, the little ripples along the way.
Well said.
Is your mic back on?
It is. We are charged up and ready to go. Hear me okay?
I don't know.
Charged up and ready to go. We'll see if that's...
It is on, yes.
Yeah,
He's good.
okay.
Okay.
Maybe they'll turn
and down near Pigeon Forge.
Okay, there we go. Are we back up? Good to go? Okay, thank you.
And near Pigeon Forge, we got...
Oh, okay, we got a little...
squiggles.
Cell that's rotating there.
We've got 3 little squiggles along that. Do you want to go point at them?
Okay, Douglas Lake Dam, our Dandridge dock said that lightning's picking up as well.
Okay, let's go ahead and take that one. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Picking up, as expected. Do you mind pointing these out on the chroma key?
Yeah, no, not at all. Thank you, Cass.
Because we got 3 little... Whoa! Look out, Todd.
That is definitely picking up. So this is our Douglas Lake Dandridge dock camera. Again, every time we have lightning, the camera tries to has to refocus and reset because of the light. But this is a look at the lightning. I know it almost feels like, whoa, watch out! Right? We're in front. This is a green wall. I'm touching a green screen right here, but you can see behind us. There's the loud thunder booms above us here at Channel 10 in North Knoxville. Douglas Lake. You see the sheets of rain. There's the lightning. It's been a lightning show. We were tracking these storms coming out Cumberland County. I know that's pretty intense. And coming down Rockwood Mountain. And that's when we really were starting to track these storms visually with our weather cameras. And then, of course, on radar, tracking those storms coming in. Was certainly, first of all, thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a good, safe night. We continue the long-form coverage with severe weather because these storms have been packing a punch. And I know we've had a lot of severe storms. We've had some tornado warnings. We've had rotation. We've had hail. We've got power outages. We've had some damage. Here's a look at this latest. And Cassie made a great point of this.
There's 3 of them.
You could see that. You can see that Kodak on the northern edge of it. That's just like taking your hand through water. And on the northern edge, you got an eddy. A little ripple. There's one right there. There's one right there. And on the bottom edge, you got one that almost tends to rotate sometimes the opposite way as it's going around. But just that look at that outflow. That's some intense winds. And where you see this is blowing through. Now, we did have several trees down. It didn't take long. As soon as this line hit Kodak, had reports of several trees down. We've got trees down scattered around Knox County. It says county-wide. That just means there's pockets of trees down across much of Knox County. The one report we had coming in with some of those trees down were in the Bearden Hills, Sequoia Hills area in general, about 2 miles just to the west of Knoxville, approximately. And so coming into Knoxville, Kingston Pike, and continuing toward Neyland Drive and closer to, again, UT campus and coming into the area. So now, as Cassie pointed out a moment ago, too, and we've been talking about this earlier upstream on the plateau, the first initial wave, that has some of the most intense winds. You may get a lull, but then there's more storms with heavy rainfall behind it. So we're seeing more moderate to heavy rain moving back into Knoxville. We showed you TDOT SmartWay cameras. Cassie was running through the list of TDOT cameras, had several accidents. and one of those particularly was occurring at Weisgarber, thank you. And I was going to say Westmoreland. Weisgarber, Interstate 40, and looked like it may have been a hydroplaning type deal where 3 left lanes are blocked on Interstate 40 at Weisgarber earlier. Still, well, maybe now one lane's moving.
They've stopped traffic briefly.
Oh yeah,
I think they're trying to get the emergency vehicles out of the 3 left lanes right now. So they briefly stopped traffic.
Exactly right. There goes is that a TDOT help truck right there? Yeah, you got traffic. There comes. Well,
it looks like they're clearing
live at the emergency vehicles. Everybody's getting out, and they're going to let them go.
They've got the car on the tow truck.
This is the Indy 500.
And they're off.
Waving the checker flag, and there we go. I don't mean to make too light of a situation, but that's kind of what it looked like.
Well, the good news is if they got it cleared that quickly, that hopefully means the injuries weren't serious.
Yeah, no, that's very good.
So that's good news.
That was good timing. You just pulled that up. We literally were just talking about that, and they just cleared it.
And there's the backup. This is the east end of West Hills. You can see the backup still going there. And let's go back even further. Not too much further than that. Thankfully, not a lot of people out on the road, but let me actually go back.
At West Hills. That's good.
Let me go back to this. Notice how the lightning and the rain is picking up again. That's that back end that I was talking about, that second wave with the old supercell that's coming through right now, coming back into Knox County, which is sparking off the thunder that we're hearing at our station right now.
Sometimes you have it, then the residual, and then you get another little redevelopment behind it.
So still raining heavily, still got some accidents out on the road. Let's see if the ones out west have been cleared. This is still debris in the road out here that we cannot see out in Roane County. It's got the right lane of the eastbound lanes, I-40, blocked out in Roane County. That is near Gallagher Road. Just some traffic updates for everybody. If you are planning on being out and about, I wouldn't go right now if you don't have to.
Not recommended.
And there's our Douglas Lake camera. You're going to see it flash in a second here.
Yeah, the lightning has been impressive on many of our cameras right there. Again, from Dandridge Dock overlooking Douglas Lake, we're looking pretty much west, more or less, and you can see the rain. Wow, look at that.
Wow, that is
impressive.
Some intense.
Here, let me, just because I can, here, let me, I'm going to take you to the dock. Of course, nobody's out there fishing, but when you do this, you can see kind of the intensity.
We're going to see this pick up in a few minutes here, and I bet we're going to see the rain kind of change direction.
Yeah, we are. Actually,
well.
It should switch. Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll check back on this camera in 1 second when the worst of the storm actually gets there. Let me show you a quick update on the power outages map that we have right now. Good news in Loudoun County, whatever was wrong in LCUB's coverage area, they had 40% of the county out. They have recovered. So
good.
Loudoun County's.
Oh, wow.
Ta-da!
They're down to 41. Wow, that's impressive.
That was a big improvement.
Man.
Big improvement in Loudoun County.
That was like one substation or one transformer, and it got everybody fixed.
It got them all fixed.
Hopefully you're not one of the 41.
In Loudoun County,
it's all right.
I need pizza. In Roane.
Pizza for you.
In Roane County, we're seeing the power outages up to just about 350 people. McMinn County now is up to almost 500. Cumberland County, over 3,300 customers without power. In Fentress County, over 2,500, almost 2,600 customers without power. We're still seeing that. Numbers in Knox County, not too bad, almost 700, but considering that there's almost 168,000 people covered here, that's not bad at all. Greene County still has some outages from earlier. This next line of storms is beginning to move into those areas. So just wanted to give you an update on the power outages. Crews are wonderfully quick when it comes to that.
Right.
And we've been watching that cell to the north of Kodak.
Yeah.
And Sevierville up and down the little swirlies. Let's go back and look at them again, because now the National Weather Service is paying attention to them.
One of those eddies on either end of that line. And Cassie, while you're doing that, we're coming up on 10:57 right now. Coming up on 10:58, John Becker standing by on the Channel 10 news desk. Our 11 o'clock broadcast will be starting momentarily, and we may pause briefly to allow the news to start, and of course be right back. And so we do thank you for joining us on our live stream and Fox 43 for simulcasting with our partner station WBIR. And again, just to give you an idea, we're going to reset in a moment, but as you were talking about, that's that cell they're going to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. You got to watch it.
Yeah, that's continuing. It's into, that is Sevier County.
It's going to cross into Cobb County here very soon.
Yeah, New Center Elementary
School. That's
School.
Southern Jefferson County.
No, you're good.
It's gonna,
there you go, Southern Jefferson.